Okay, press and go on my Apple Watch. 3, 2, 1. We are running, and this is the official first ever episode of Out of Breath with Zach Schiffman, a podcast while I go on a run, while my guest is at home being completely incredible and awesome. And this is going to be a very chaotic start because I am like feet away from the Grand Army Plaza Farmers Market to start this episode. So couldn't be better to bring in my amazing first guest. The reason that I have had a fire under my ass to start this, because the most generous, the most incredible, talented girl in the world is also the most encouraging and generous girl in the world. Please welcome Sabrina Brier. Yeah. And your stuffed animal is being awesome. We have a live audience. Wait, I love how cozy you are.
Well, I'm typically a cozy girl, so when you tell me I can get on a podcast and be cozy, it's giving best podcast ever.
I know, that's the point, is like everyone is like, this is supposed to be as comfortable as possible. Is that from Lion King?
Yeah, this is Simba. It was gifted to me by my high school boyfriend when he went on the trip to Disney.
As an adult?
Which
feels... Oh my God.
Yeah, the theater department goes to Disney every senior year.
To do what? Make kids gay?
Yeah.
Did you go to Disney?
I didn't go. Like, looking back, I'm like, it might have been like during spring break. And I think during high school, like all those trips where it was coordinated to go during a break, I was like, well, I'm independent. I don't need my high school to like plan a trip for me.
Wait, that was so funny. My high school, every other year, chorus went on a trip. And they went my freshman year. I was obviously, you're not allowed to go my freshman year, but you can go junior and senior year. And my junior year, they announced that like we were going to Costa Rica. And literally, like, of course, like, all the rich Jewish kids at my school were like, actually, I've already been to Costa Rica, so I'm not going to go. And so then none of the seniors wanted to go, all the Betchy seniors. And so then we had to cancel the trip to Costa Rica because not enough kids signed up. But then the next year we went to Italy, so. Okay, we are literally in the Grand Army Plaza Farmers Market right now. Hi, everyone. I'm in the podcast studio, everybody.
Hey, bye.
So just recording a podcast while there's a kid on a scooter. So this is like literally like when they say you're running through gators and you feel like run zigzag, like literally.
Are you going into the park?
Yes, and I have to run around all these people. Okay, sorry, I'm in the podcast studio. Those tomatoes look awesome, guys. Looks awesome.
What are the out of breath rules for if you run into someone?
I think I have to acknowledge it and say, hi, I don't know you.
We're gonna have to see what happens. It's
literally, I will say, on my way, as I like joined the studio and I was waiting, I saw a guy in a city bike that I hooked up with. So this is just gonna be a completely incredible experience. I'm already running too. Okay, how are you? What is going on? It's Fashion Week.
It's Fashion Week. Yeah, Zach and I went to a party this weekend already, or a few days ago for Fashion Week. Right, Zach?
It was honestly, it's funny because we got there so on time. Can we explain what happened?
Yeah, we can explain what happened.
So we get there. I was really early because I was confused about a thing I had to do for work. And honestly, I will say, when we got,
I'm chronically late.
I had just been to a new restaurant that made my stomach hurt like crazy. Unfortunately, I can't recommend it because it made me and my boyfriend's stomach hurt. So, Kisa, the food was delicious.
Were you having a tummy ache all night?
No, it was gone, but it definitely wasn't like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get there, and then it was like, I guess there was a long line, and I was like, I guess we have to wait in the line, but then we didn't, and that was actually amazing.
Right. So like there was this really long line, and Zach we like get in the line, but I had a contact at the party and I'm like, I don't know what line I'm supposed to be in. As it turned out, we were supposed to be in a line that was less long, but we didn't want to be the people going, we're not supposed to be in this line.
Sorry, I'm actually like that. And I was like, I'm not cutting the line. I'm actually I'm getting out of the line to get right in, but I'm not cutting the
line. It's like on one hand we were like, you don't think we have to be waiting in this line? On the other hand, we were like, but we're with the people and we're not going to cut a line.
Right. No, we're
not going to do that. But then
it's like you had a special email, but you're also polite, and that's important.
And that's important. That's literally
life is
important.
About being.
Speaking of exclusivity in lines and clubs, something I would like to kind of like bring it back to Disney about is like, did you see this article about like the couple who were traded with their lawsuit about getting back into Club 330 at Disney?
No. What is explain this to me.
Club 330, or did I just say 330? That's so embarrassing. Everyone from Disney is going to be like, this girl doesn't know anything about
I
Disney.
end the episode. I'm like, she messed this up. I end the episode.
It's Club 33, I think is what it's called. And it's like, I don't know, my
That's like
sister
Walt
told me a
Disney's
lot
Fuck Hut
about
at
it.
Disney, right? It's like a restaurant, and it's like Walt Disney
It's
used to
like
fuck in
Zero
there.
Bond at Disney. It's like Zero
Right.
Bond at Disney.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
That's where Eric
I don't
Adams
know much
goes.
else. Is it?
Eric Adams
Yes.
loves Zero
Yes.
Bond.
He loves Zero Bond. I did go one time for an event. But so basically this, club at Disney, which is supposed to be like amazing. It's supposed to be where the celebs go. Like, I don't know, because in my life, like going to Disney is already so luxurious
Of course.
that I'm like,
it's literally like a mortgage on a house.
It's like every intricate detail. My sister does this thing, like when we went to Disney, my sister will go up to like every display window, like in Morocco or wherever it is, and she'll go, look at the detail. Look at the detail.
I mean, that is the amazing thing. Is like
someone made that.
Every little thing on the wall is like hand carved. It's
Yes.
I mean, museums are out. Disney lines to get on rides are in.
And so then this couple, I guess, apparently were accused. The wife was, this is like me reading half an article.
Yeah.
The wife was accused.
And you don't have time to read a full article. It's the year 2024.
And she, I guess, was like, according to like the accusation, allegedly was publicly drunk. And they were like, you can't
like,
be
was this JoJo Siwa?
It was just some couple, like some husband and wife whose like whole life is about going there. So I guess when they said they can't go there anymore, this couple was like, well, that's not gonna happen. Because it's like, this is our life. So they have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars countersuing, trying to get back in.
But I mean, is it what, discrimination because they were drunk? Or is it like alleged they were drunk? It's not confirmed.
Well, I think it's one of those things where it's like, she was drunk and there was an issue, you can't come back, but they're kind of like, there was no issue. Like, you know what I mean? It was probably them versus, a he said, she said.
Of course.
From there,
one of the most classic stories we have is he said, she said.
Absolutely. And from their perspective, they're like, our lives are about Club 33. Like, we are not missing out on this crucial part of like who we are as people.
I mean, it's funny because like the me version of that is like, I get too drunk and I'm not allowed into Union Hall anymore. It's like, wait, but that's where my friends go and that's where I go. Like, I can't not.
It is like that. It's like Union Hall, first of all, is Zero Bond.
And by the way, think about, but also it's Disney, the intricate detail, like all those little details inside, like Union Hall is Disney.
Union Hall is so Disney.
Behind the bar, how there's like that diorama.
What's the diorama?
No one is ever noticing this. We have to talk about this and bring it forward to the culture.
Okay.
Behind the bar at Union Hall, there's like lizards. It's like fake. It looks like the Museum of Natural History behind the bar, and no one's ever noticing because they're always, focused, of course, on the amazing talent on stage or gossiping with their friends. But behind the bar, there's literally like an intricate diorama. Yes, downstairs.
Oh. Okay. And then
like Museum of Natural History.
What's the girl on the stage's name again?
Does she have a name?
The one I don't know. Does she?
Her name is
in the picture. Did you guys have things like that at your college? Like little sort of like little lore pieces?
My college, like not a ton. We had like the seal where it's like a city school. We had a thing where like you can't step on like the seal, and then if you step on the seal, you won't graduate in 4 years. And it was like, well, then I'll graduate in 3.5, honey. We had a thing at Smith.
I actually have it right here. I have a visual. Okay, this is not going to come out because my hands are clammy. Okay, so this is my Smith ring.
Oh my God.
And these are the grade court gates. And there are these gates, like right kind of at this like centerpiece, like entrance area, like on the hill of the campus. And they're really beautiful and spooky. And the whole curse there is if you walk through the gates prior to graduating Smith College, you'll never get married.
Oh, that's specific. And also feels charged because it's an all-women's school. Like, it's like, what if I don't...
charged.
Well, and now it's like, what if I don't want to get married and you, like, are parading through the gates every day? Like, I don't believe in the institution of marriage.
But the funny thing about Smith, though, was that on one hand, everyone's, like, radical leftist. On the other hand, everyone's, like, I graduated, I'm going through the gate. Everyone, because then everyone graduates and everyone takes a picture walking through the gate.
Everyone's a radical leftist until they got to get a picture of breaking a tradition.
Exactly.
Like, it's like,
everyone's a radical leftist until it's a photo op.
No, literally at BU, there would be like
op.
the big plaza at BU where there was the seal. Like, there was always like protests happening there, and somehow there was always a protest happening around the seal.
Right.
Like, your cause is not as important to break a superstition.
It's not as important.
Wait, speaking of rings, I was recently thinking about how Taylor gave Olivia Rodrigo the red ring, and Olivia Rodrigo's wearing it in the album cover for Sour, and I like got really sad thinking about it.
She gave her that ring?
The ring that says red. She gave it to Olivia Rodrigo, and Olivia Rodrigo wore it in the album cover for Sour. Like, that's just so sad.
That's like a crazy thing that she gave her. I mean, that,
and now they like don't speak, of course.
That's like something you give to your daughter.
An heirloom, of course.
That's the red
ring. The red ring that's sold that's sold as merch for like a limited time only on the website. That's an heirloom. My daughter gets engaged, and I'm like, I have a family heirloom for you. It's the red ring.
I'm gonna give my daughter the VIP box from the Eras tour.
I give her a special thing to wear before she goes to the wedding, before she like walks down the aisle. I give her a cardigan. I'm like, you should wear this and then take it off before you go down the aisle. You're like,
wear this, something borrowed, but also can you give it back because it's from the limited time website original cardigan.
Yeah, exactly. I give her the Moonstone edition vinyl for Midnights. I'm like, this was meant to keep her at the #1 on the track, so like you can have it, but I do need it back.
Yeah, it's like keyword borrowed. Like, what are you able to kind of give this back to me before the reception?
Right.
Also, what does that remind me about?
Last night I went to Lucali to see Taylor.
Oh my God. Wait, we need to, okay. So yes, we're in the group chat. Okay, so for like those who don't know, something that like I feel like is going to be a part of Out of Breath is obviously like Zach is a Taylor historian. It's a big part of his brand. Like, it's not all he is as a person because he's really multifaceted and complex.
And you're giving me an amazing intro.
But this is a huge part of who you are.
But I think more than I honestly think more than a historian, I'm a rabbi because I'm bringing people together to discuss the text. So we have this big group chat, and Sabrina was actually an important part of the group chat. Honestly, it's all very religious because the group chat was originally 13 members. Or no, we reached 13, and I was like, we can't go past 13, obviously. And then but the group chat is called Schleif Swifties, Schleif being my horrible Twitter handle. And then when Sabrina and I became close, I was like, she has to be in this group chat. And
was I 14?
No, now it's Schleif and the 13.
I had no idea. Wait, so you really made room for me in your community, and
of course. And now there's no more. Like, if we want to add someone has to get kicked out. And I will say, I'm always having behind the scenes conversations of who is not pulling their weight in the group chat.
Right. Well, I remember one time I texted Zach and I was like, hey, like, I'm feeling kind of nervous. I'm feeling kind of shy. Like, I'm new to the group chat. Like, am I sending too many links? And Zach said, do not worry about that because we actually monitor.
Not only that, but we had been discussing how great you'd been doing.
Really?
Yeah, Tori, my best friend Tori Rainey and I sort of are like the keepers of the group chat. She's the keeper of the spreadsheet, of course. We have this like massive Google spreadsheet where we rank every single Taylor Swift song ever. And Toria and I monitor who's pulling their weight. And in our head, there's sort of a power ranking. And I would say you're in the top 5 of people pulling your weight in the group chat. I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
Yeah, not to create division within the group chat. I hope they don't listen to this.
They're all gonna listen to this.
But I will say some people have been given a nudge. Like, there was someone who was not pulling their weight and someone got a nudge and now she is pulling her weight.
You're like, I won't name names.
But she is pulling her weight now.
That's so interesting. And then, but meanwhile, it's like that's just because like I'm chronically online and like I have problems.
But so that's like the thing is most of us we're all like watching Eras Tour TikTok live streams.
I know. It's like I don't think of myself as that kind of person, but then meanwhile, like when we were like looking at the rep concert that didn't end up being the rep concert, and as soon as Florence got on stage, I was the first one with a wig. And I said, of course, Florence on stage for Florida.
Well, because at a certain point, the group chat becomes CNN. Like, we are a breaking news source. It's not even, it's like, it's a news dispatch.
Well, now it's like music, the pop girls in the election are 1 and 1. So we really like we're in a way we're doing more than CNN is doing.
Oh my God, of course. It's like Nate Silver needs to be covering the surprise songs.
Absolutely, because
Like some
absolutely.
because the truth is there honestly is such a through line. Nate Silver with his math and his election prediction, Taylor fans with the numerology and the adding up numbers and everything. Like there is math between the two. Like what exactly?
Yeah.
It's like it's exactly the same. Math is what brings us all together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, speaking of which, what is something that has taken your breath away recently?
Something that has taken my breath away recently. I have so many. I actually feel like I've had a lot of positive things this past week. I'll say that my Labor Day weekend took my breath away because I had so much fun with like my friends. Can that take my breath away?
Of course, community, friends.
Because community and quality time, I find, is what makes me go.
Exactly. No, literally, honestly, it's funny. We actually are emerging on the part of the podcast where I have to put the headband on because my hair looks bad, and this is of course all about the clips. So the headband I need to research better headbands.
Okay,
but I just like it's not even, it's like, I literally just don't want my hair flopping and looking bad. I know I have
You look like Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. Wait, community and friendship. I could not agree more. Was I with you this weekend?
I felt a lot of, you're like, wait, I just heard that you say community and friendship is fulfilling you. And obviously I'm a part of that and you are, but no, community, we had a lot of community and friendship at the Sorry show.
Oh yes, we did.
We really did. It was so fun. That took my breath away.
Dinner before? I'm like, I literally can't remember anything that's ever happened to me.
A lot of community and friendship then. I had a lot of community and friendship on the next day we went to a Sublime cover band concert.
Oh yeah, okay. It sounds like that took your breath away. Can I get a little bit of context from this?
You know what too?
And you asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, all love, of course not.
Oh, simply no. I texted it to Gil if you're on. I was like, by the way, if you're around for the weekend, and he goes, Sabrina, did you just invite me to a Sublime concert? I said, well, yeah.
No, not a concert, a cover band. Let's be real about this.
Cover band, and he said, well, I'm addicted to you, and absolutely not. I went with like a bunch of Connecticut girls, so we were like absolutely in our element.
Is Sublime Connecticut?
So in New Haven, Connecticut, at Toad's Place. Toad's Place is this really historic, like back in the day, they would have like Rolling Stone before they went on like the Rolling Stones before they, I just said Rolling Stone like the magazine, before the Rolling Stones went on some big,
I will say, like, I actually think that's wrong. Tour. I want to say I think it's wrong. One of them has to pick. I've always thought this. It's weird.
They have
it's
to be
wrong.
The same. They have to be the same.
The magazine and the band, one of you has to pick. You can't wear the same thing. Figure it out.
Okay, got it.
Oh, sorry, someone heard me screaming, whatever. I'm just reminded right now that I am screaming.
Well, as you take up as much space as you want your Grand Army Plaza.
That's so true. It's actually beautiful. By the water.
It's, oh my God, that's taking my breath away. And so we went and we like danced. I felt so cool. And I was like, it's a runaway. And I was like, no, I knew the songs that would go like this. That's all I said. Because I was a hippie.
Because you were a hippie, of course.
Because I was a hippie.
Of course you were a hippie.
Well, when I was growing up in high school, it was like...
I would say this. I think you are the New York comedy scene. You're the New York comedy scene's foremost hippie, I would say.
I'm such a hippie.
Everyone is saying that you are like the biggest hippie. Everyone's like, oh, Sabrina Brier? Oh, yeah, she's the hippie, right?
Oh, yeah, that girl. Yeah. Everyone is saying it. Everyone is saying that you're a hippie dippy.
People look at me stage, they don't say you've seen her on Abbott Elementary. They don't say TikTok. They say you've seen her because she's such a hippie.
That is what they say. I just remember being in high school and it's like, and speaking of community and like taking my breath away, it's like, it really was a thing where you could kind of just be any kid, but it's like, if you had no friends or you had no place and you showed up to like art class and you were wearing like a Sublime shirt or like you were wearing like a drug rug, like you had a place. That's
so funny.
That's what it was like. And then also, so the cover band that we went to, it's called Bad Fish. And
is that a reference?
Yeah, it's a song, Zach.
Do I know any Sublime songs?
Yeah. Several times. Oh no, that's a cover. That's Porgy and Bess. Porgy and Bess.
Okay, that made me stop. But that's actually an important thing to note that will happen on this podcast is when someone makes me laugh so hard I stop running. That you just confused a Sublime cover that was Porgy and Bess.
No, but it is Sublime, but it's not their
But of
original song.
course,
So
it's originally from the opera Porgy and Bess. No, of course, and by the way, it couldn't be an easier thing to confuse. Opera and Sublime.
literally so similar culturally, exactly. It's like Troye Sivan and Charlie XCX. Like that's how
Right.
similar they
The
are.
the new Sweat tour is going to be half Sublime, half Porgy and Bess.
And so you know that also covered by Miss Lana Del Rey. You know, like lovin' is
I
what I
don't.
got. You don't know that song?
No,
They weren't singing it in Chicago growing up.
no. The name on everybody's lips was not Sublime.
Well, it's like New Haven has like, you know, New Haven, like blood in the streets in the town of New Haven.
I've seen
Blood
Blood in the
stains
Streets.
the
It's Yale.
that's from the Doors because Jim Morrison went to the Coliseum and the police beat him up in New Haven.
Okay, rock and roll historian Sabrina Brier.
Exactly. That's what people know me
Rock
as.
and roll historian.
That's what people know me as. That's
Yeah, exactly. Hippie, rock and roll,
and Camp Girl.
and Camp Girl, of
And
course.
Camp Girl. And so Toad's Place is this like place in New Haven where it was just like all the cool kids like I would go. And then I remember I think I was a freshman in high school and I was at this cool girl's house and they were all gonna go. And like called my dad and I was like, hey dad, like can I go to Bad Fish with my friends, Toad's Place? And like my dad, it's like he's from Connecticut originally. He knows what Toad's Place means. It's very not a place where you want a 14-year-old. No offense, Toad's Place, you guys wrong. I was definitely like young. And then he said no. And so I was like, and then it was all of these like cool hippie girls with their like they were all wearing their like hippie things, you know, that the girls.
What are their hippie things? What were their hippie things? Like a flower crown?
They had like a bunch of the hemp bracelets, and they had like there was just a certain kind of look.
The classic hippie look that you're always wearing to shows.
And all of their boyfriends were in rehab, which is what I wanted.
Did you ever get that? Did you ever get a rehab boyfriend?
I did at one point. I was texting with a rehab boyfriend at one point. My mom is gonna hear that, and she's gonna say, "What?" So, anyways, because by the way, yeah, my mom is obsessed with Zach Schiffman and will be the first listener.
Wait, I love that she Facebook messaged to tell you she liked my Subway take.
Yes, I was with Zach. I looked down my phone. Susan has said, "Did you see Zach's Subway take?" Like she needed to make sure everyone had seen it.
Well, I would say I do think when I met her, she and I had a connection. Like when I met her at your show, I was like, oh, there's something here that is beyond this realm.
Yeah, because you guys are two theater bitches.
It's funny. Everyone met Rachel Coster's mom last night, and Rachel's
mom is like
Rachel's mom is like so young and beautiful. I have an important relationship with Rachel's mom in that I gave her first ever RX bar, and she loved it.
Makes me so important.
That's an important thing to do for someone. And everyone was like, Rachel's mom is so beautiful. And I was like, yeah, of course. And Rachel's so beautiful. Let's make that.
Yeah. You're like, so there's a whole thing called genes. Anyways, just to bring it back to Bad Fish and circle that little thing, Dad didn't let me go. And then everyone blamed me. And so when I did go to Bad Fish, it was a little bit of a redemption arc.
Okay, that's beautiful. Did you feel set free when you were there? Well, of course you set free because you're a hippie.
I was so set free because I was a hippie. Like, again, I was in a crochet dress going like this.
And of course, this is primarily an auditory medium, so I want everyone to know that could mean anything. I will release a clip, but I want everyone listening to know that could mean anything. Your imagination should be running wild. Know that Sabrina is sort of swaying a little, and I am surrounded by geese that want me dead. There's at least 80 geese near me, so that's sort of the context of what you could be seeing right now if you were on our call. Okay.
Wait, can I know something that took your breath away, or am I not supposed to like do that?
No, I think honestly one of the things that took my breath away. No, and of course we're still figuring out the format of this podcast. I've recorded. This is the 4th episode. I'm going to release one of the ones I did already, but I did record with Courtney and Rachel, and both are completely unlistenable. And so I will have to be recording with Courtney and Rachel again because it's both the episodes with Courtney and Rachel are like wildly antagonistic. Impossible to follow a single thing we said, and I would say crude in a way that like if I were to pull a clip, it would get flagged on TikTok. Courtney gets on the call, like Rachel gets on the call and immediately was like, so how do you douche your butt? And Courtney was like, so you want to fuck Pete Buttigieg? Now, of course, I'm bringing this into this episode, but I will not be releasing those. But something that took my breath away recently.
So important.
I honestly think was going to Luke Hollow last night and seeing like 80 people there.
Wait, yeah. First of all, I was looking at the pictures, like the path pictures, and I saw this little girl in like a Nike like sweatsuit, and she was a pink sweatsuit, and she was going.
And so for the listeners who are listening, just auditory, Sabrina's sort of doing like an like big mouth open, squinted eyes, hands up. If you want to, you of course can find the image that she's referencing, but I'm trying to really be inclusive.
So I was looking at those pictures. I was going, look at all these freaks who show up where Taylor Swift is.
And you get a text, I'm there.
Zach's one of those freaks. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I saw the bangs. I didn't really see her. But I also just wanted to be a part of the moment. I'm honestly surprised she came to Brooklyn. Like, she doesn't like Brooklyn after Jake Gyllenhaal. She's admitted this all too well. So I am surprised she was in Brooklyn.
When you're Brooklyn broke.
My skin and bones, like, of course.
My skin and bones out in Bali.
More than anything, it took my breath away that she was in Brooklyn.
Absolutely. And also a little funny because, like, it is Beyonce's brand to go to Luke Holly.
Wait, I know. I was like, did she get the rec from Beyonce? Also, I'm pretty sure Beyonce does rent it out when she goes, right?
Does she? I feel like it's like this when she goes, where it's
like, not for nothing. Imagine it's your 50th anniversary, and by the way, of course, I love Taylor more than anything. Imagine it's your like a really special night. You're at Luke Holly. Your entire evening is now about her.
You spent like as a normal person, you're spending so much effort getting into it, like
right.
Like, and it's
the crazy thing about Luke Holly is it's pizza. It's like good, but it's like it's New York City. It's like they literally only like it's only
well,
Luke Holly's
my
only
thing
Luke Holly.
About pizza. You know my thing about
what?
Pizza.
No, what is it?
Well, when I first moved to New York, I was addicted to getting into like bar fights with people about New York versus Connecticut pizza.
What's Connecticut pizza? Isn't it that it's cold? Is that what it is?
Did you just say cold?
Is that what it is? No, it's cold. Like it's like freezing.
That's the funniest thing I've said.
Is that what Connecticut pizza is? No,
it's coal.
It's coal. It's made of coal. Like Santa's giving people coal pizza in Connecticut.
No, it's coal. No, did you say cold or cold?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that it's cold. No, what I'm saying is that it's cold. Like cold, like burr the winter.
No. It's coal oven. It's brick coal oven pizza. So you have heard coal and you took cold away.
I thought it was like chilled. I thought it was like a chilled red, but pizza.
Oh my God, I thought you were like, yeah, have you guys ever been to Connecticut? The pizza there was supposed to be absolutely cold.
It's about bone chilling. I did think that.
I do let's do a critic.
No, I'm not a critic. I mean, I'm an imposter. I am not a critic. I'm an imposter. And whenever I like am in food meetings, I'm like, I love brioche. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Right. You're like, I'm just a little bitch with some taste buds. I'm not a critic.
I'm just like someone who's capable. I'm just media literate and able to read restaurant reviews.
Oh, okay. So no. The thing is that New Haven, I'm really giving you a New Haven lesson. New Haven has the best.
I know, this pizza. Is all like a history tour of New Haven. This episode is sponsored by Visit New Haven.
Yes. And it has really the best pizza. And we're pizza connoisseurs in my Connecticut house. And I have this one friend in particular from camp who's a Brooklyn girly. And like, there will be like palpable tension in the room if this subject is brought up.
I will say people always, when I tell people I'm from Chicago, they get literally rock hard. And they're like, so do you think deep dish pizza is better? And I'm like, no, it's a very different thing. Like, I'm not engaging with you. I know that they are two completely, oh my God, people are staring at me screaming. Sorry, I'm recording a podcast. It's so rude. But,
so rude.
Like, don't they realize I'm in my studio right now?
Don't they
like,
realize you're making art?
It's just so weird to walk into my studio. But people always are like trying to get me in fights about deep dish pizza. I'm like, it couldn't be more different. Zip your fucking mouth shut and eat the cheese.
I think there are a few things in life that people really, really, really like to sort of claim personalities around, and pizza is definitely one of them.
Of course, pizza girl, dogs, yes. Okay, I'm actually out of breath, so it's time for you to tell me a story while I catch my breath. Ready?
Oh my God. Okay, my story is that My story is that I went to hot yoga today, and there were so many people. And okay, I told a story about hot yoga the other day. Sorry, I'm just trying to improvise. And okay, my story is that I went so hard. I went to
Everyone's staring at me. Sorry, I'm doing a podcast.
really
Sorry.
palpable. The breathing is palpable.
They're staring at me.
Okay, I went to yoga, a different yoga class like a week ago, and I kind of did this thing where they were like, and now go to this side, like, okay, now everyone turn this way. And you know, I'm a girl who marches to the beat of my own drum. Like, I
Of course.
I wasn't ready to go into that pose yet. I was just kind of like feeling lazy. And this lady right next to me goes, like, for the listeners at home, I'm pointing. I'm doing an impression of this lady. That's my really good acting skills right there. I just want
Of course.
Of course. I'm doing this impression of this lady who basically kind of like looked. It was she was trying to be like more of like a teacher's aide to me.
I hate that shit.
She was not
people need to start. I've thought about starting to bring a gun to yoga class because people are insane. When people try and show off or run the class, no, we're all equal here except for the teacher. And if you try and take a status position here, I will come with a gun. It is that simple.
Okay, Zach Schiffman's running for president on the platform of let's bring guns to yoga classes.
Literally, no. When people are like doing a headstand when it's not time, or they're trying to like shove you into something harder, it's like, I came here for my reasons. You don't know what my intention was today, and so you need to back off. You are invading my intention.
Well, Zach and I talked about this the other day. I said, we were talking about yoga, and he said, well, I like to do this sort of yoga class that's more of like, I was like, that one's a little bit more like biddies doing yoga.
Yeah, I love core power yoga.
Well, simply, that's what I want.
My thing about yoga is if they bring a gong out.
Now you just put me on blast with core power.
No, I want to be sponsored by them. I mean, I love them. And literally, my thing
Zach
I love
you guys.
Because it's all like girlies. I go to like the West 4th one. It's literally all NYU students, and I'm the only grown man there. Not predatory, I promise. I'm gay.
I'm gonna tell you that I know the audio is gonna all be recorded smoothly, but you just completely cut out everything you were saying, and then at the end it went, I'm gay.
This segment, this stretch of the park is bad service, and this is something that every episode is going to have to contend with, is that there's bad service right here.
No, this service is whack.
It's crazy. I mean, like, again, this is like a completely unenjoyable experience for every
Anyways, by the way, I kind of a dangerous podcast guest for your first guest, because you know what I was thinking about the other night when you came over? No, not even the other night, like 2 nights ago after the party. I think that we started 7 different stories and didn't finish a single one.
No, this podcast is going to be unintelligible. Of course. No, we like. No,
I don't think we've finished a single question. I'm not asking a question. We're making off. No, but it's not even so much right now. It was the other night. The other night, I thought to myself, well, maybe sometimes telling a story isn't about finishing the story.
No,
it's
what
I thought to myself in the cab.
Literally, because the end of this. Because by the way, what is it? What is a story if not a cliffhanger?
Right, and why am I so like? I think in almost a compulsive way. Like even I did it on this call just now with like Disney. I was thinking about how we don't finish any stories, but then Then I started to think to myself, well, maybe something about my quality time with Zach is it's not about finishing the story. It's not about the beginning and the middle and the end. It's not about the arc. It's not always about the arc. Maybe it's more about the kind of frenetic energy that we are creating in not finishing the stories. And that energy is kind of really inspiring to us and propels us into like, and maybe it's kind of like all those stories we brought up the other night. It's like one will get finished eventually.
It could take years.
We don't have to control everything. It could take years.
I will say this, it's like fire, because it's always a lot of like, we're starting a fire requires a lot of work, but do you want to put the fire out? No, you want that fire to burn. So it's like, it takes a lot of flint, a lot of paper, a lot of wood to start. I'm making this beautiful metaphor right now. It could not be more beautiful. I'm nearly sobbing.
Yeah.
But like, We're starting a campfire. I don't want to put it out. Why would I put it out by ending the story?
That's so true. And it's like sometimes like the campfire, it's like this, the wind kind of goes and the smoke starts to get in your face, and you kind of have to like put that story away for now and like move to a different part of the fire because like the smoke is in your face. And that's kind of like going on to the next. And it's a little bit like, is it about like each individual storyline, or is it about coming around the fire together and kind of like the lack of linearness?
And by the way, everything around a fire, it has to be a circle. Isn't that beautiful?
Absolutely.
And of course, this makes perfect sense. I could talk to you for 100 years, obviously. It's not like we finished a single topic. Literally, this episode is going to be like, if we were to try and wrap up everything we've discussed, I would be running for 40 miles.
If we were trying to wrap up everything, I would probably say, so in conclusion, I'd say nothing.
Yeah, in conclusion, I'm good. Is there anything people can look forward to? We can obviously follow you, and everyone's already a massive fan, but is there something we can look forward to?
You can look forward to the next episode of Out of Breath with Zach. And you can look for, and you can go to Spotify and you can pre-save my audiobook, which is coming out on January 28th, called That Friend by Sabrina.
Yes,
and
that's what I was fishing for, honey. Everyone pre-save That Friend. Of course, to my 2 listeners right now, pre-save That Friend.
2 listeners, girls.
Listeners, girls. I was thinking my fans, when this podcast, of course, becomes huge, my fans should be called Oobies. OOB, Out of Breath Oobies. Isn't that good?
Oh, that's... By the way, Zach Schiffman, I want to be the one to say Zach Schiffman's first person in the history of podcasting to come up with a fan name for himself on the first episode.
But before, I came up with it literally when the name came up, the fan name came out with the name of the podcast. Car before the horse? No, honey, I'm driving a speed car, a racing car.
It's giving manifestation, and it's giving, if I know I'm going to be successful, why hide it?
Of course, and by the way, it's called planning, okay? You don't think that Kamala was thinking of a slogan for her campaign before Biden dropped out? No, you gotta be ahead of these things.
Kamala came up with Kamala HQ 2 years ago.
Of course, she's been ready. And that's me. This is the exact same thing.
She's been ready.
Okay. I love you more than anything.
This is, okay, I love you. Out of Breath with Zach.
Bye.
Is there kind of a thing you say? Wait, is there a thing you say when you're done with Out of Breath?
Should you help me come up with one? I'm breathless. And by the way, this podcast has to end because we're both breathless.
By the way, bye guys. I'm breathless. Bye.
I'm breathless. Bye, Illy.